Could a movie about one of the most influential network television shows that first aired in the 70s make for a good movie? Let's talk about that.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Hey everyone, so I got back from watching Saturday Night, which is the new film from Jason Reitman that has a huge cast, and it's about the first ever episode of Saturday Night Live that aired in the early 70s. To be even more exact, October 11th, 1975, which actually just had its 49th anniversary on the release of this movie, October 11th, 2024. And the movie is about the 90 minutes that lead up to the airing of the very first episode of Saturday Night Live, and all of the absolutely crazy nonsense that goes on before airing. The arguments between the actors, the disagreements between the writers, and the overall just violence that takes place on set. And I was fairly excited for this. I think the trailer made it look very rambunctious, and it seemed like was going to be something very refreshing. And we are seeing a lot of actors playing classic legends from Saturday Night Live, and I found that to be really interesting. Going into this movie, I thought we were going to be getting something along the lines of, like, say, Babylon or The Wolf of Wall Street, in which I thought it was going to be nuts to butts insanity throughout the entire thing. Now, yes, it is kind of nuts throughout the movie as to what went on behind the scenes before the first episode aired, but it wasn't as crazy as I thought or wanted it to be, because considering how much stuff and how many problems were going on, I didn't really feel the tension that I think the movie wanted us to feel as far as, you know, what those 90 minutes were like before airing the very first episode. But it didn't fail to make me feel connected to the story as far as what our characters were going through throughout the entire thing. And back to what I said at the beginning of this video, this movie has a humongous cast. I mean, just listen to some of these people. We have Gabriel LaBelle, who plays Lorne Michaels. He was also in The Fabelmans a couple years ago, and this was the most recent film that I've seen of him. But we also have Corey Michael Smith, who plays Chevy Chase. We have Rachel Sennett, who plays Rosie Schuster. We have Lamorne Morris, who plays Garrett Morris. Kaya Gerber, Nicholas Braun, Finn Wolfhard, Dylan O'Brien, Matthew Rhys, Ella Hunt, J.K. Simmons, Cooper Hoffman. I mean, this is a humongous cast. So big, in fact, that I had to read it off my screen because my brain can't remember that many things in a short amount of time. How could I forget Willem Dafoe? Willem Dafoe is in this. But yeah, Saturday Night was a good movie. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, and I didn't leave the theater as satisfied as I wanted to be, but, you know, it was still a pretty good movie. I think overall the movie was pretty funny. I think they definitely could have gone more in an inappropriate route for the joke, since this is an R-rated film and, you know, Chevy Chase is in it. I think that answers that. I think the tension is there for what they were trying to do, because we are on a timer throughout the whole entire movie, and there are reminders as to what time it is for them. And that leaves us to consistently be like, oh yeah, we're getting closer and closer until they air. Now, getting into a little bit of spoiler territory for people who don't want to get this movie spoiled, but the very end of the film ends super kind of abruptly. And I wasn't at first when it ended, I wasn't a huge fan of it, because I was thinking that we were going to get more of the sketches. I thought we were going to get more of the actors being able to act as their real life actors and do the scenes. They even referenced the Dan Aykroyd skit of Julia Child, which is one of my favorite SNL skits. And I was super excited. I thought they were going to show that, but they just referenced it and didn't actually show it. And there really wasn't any skits going on throughout the entire thing. And the film ends with Corey Michael Smith playing as Chevy Chase saying, "It's Saturday night," and then it ends. And I thought we were going to go into a segment as to the actors doing a bunch of the skits, and I thought we were going to get that. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, this movie's not about the skits. We can just go watch these legends do their skits on, like, YouTube. Like, we can watch those, like, reruns. The movie's not about the skits. The movie is about what it was like building up to the very first episode. And, you know, that's what the movie was going for, so I respect that entirely, and I respect the ending. But yeah, I think that anyone who is a fan of Saturday Night Live, especially Saturday Night Live from this era, the 70s, the 80s. I definitely think that you will appreciate this, and I think it's a nice way of connecting to Saturday Night Live more, to get more of an inside look as to how these shows are run and handled. But yeah, Saturday Night was a good movie. I wanted a little bit more from it, but overall it was a really good movie. I currently have it at 3.5 stars out of 5. I think that there could have been more that me personally I would have liked more, as far as, you know, could have had more comedy, we could have had more craziness, and we got a little bit of that, but I feel like there was a little bit missing from it, but still a really, really, really fine movie. And I definitely recommend anyone go see it because it was really good. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope that I influenced you to want to go see Saturday Night in theaters. But if you have already seen it, what are your thoughts? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in between? Let me know in the comments below. But that will bring us to the very end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.